Senator Robbie Gallagher. You have 12 minutes to move the motion. Thank you. Welcome the Minister as well.
And chat Sean you. The William Falcha Foster occur in the Muncher Bala Carrickmacross, the Tan Shaw Foster and you. Minister, you're very welcome to the Chamber here today. I would like also to welcome the delegation from Monaghan who are here this afternoon. I'd like in particular to mention the three councillors from the Carrickmacross Castle Blaney area, Padraig, PG and Aidan, as well as last former Cancorla, Dr Rory O'Hanlon, and the Deputy Niamh Smith here as well, and indeed all the delegation from Carrick that are here. This amendment to the Landlord and Tenant Ground Rent No. 2 Act 1978 is a very important amendment to existing legislation which enables a tenant, under prescribed conditions, the opportunity to buy out the freehold of the premises. I am delighted to be able to introduce this bill, which seeks to amend Section 9 and Section 10 of that Act. I know this will be very welcome in my constituency because it directly affects a lot of businesses on the west side of Carrickmacross town, and indeed many other towns and cities throughout this country. The need for this amendment has risen from Supreme Court ruling back in 2012. A recent documentary produced and edited by Pat Byrne of Carnegie Productions and presented by Michael Fisher highlighted the issues which arose from a very protracted litigation between the O'Gorman family of Carrickmacross and what is known locally as the Shirley estate. This documentary covers the story of Gus O'Gorman, a local supermarket owner, to buy out his freehold and the struggle he had in his own case, which went through every level of the courts, from County Registrar right the whole way through to Supreme Court. And I would like to pay tribute to the O'Gorman family, and Gus is here and his son Cathal is with us here today, for their huge efforts, for their commitment to this particular issue, and part of the reason we are here today is because of them. It highlighted the problem that any remaining tenants who, on the face of it, have qualifying leases to buy out their freehold under the existing legislation would have in light of that Supreme Court ruling back in 2012. Tenants who had thought they could buy out the freehold in the premises they occupy would find that they may not be able to do so in light of the interpretation of the Supreme Court in respect of two key elements, namely what buildings were involved and what constituted a predecessor in title. This amendment will seek to resolve these issues and enable a tenant to go forward and buy out their leases, giving them business certainty to be able to reinvest and grow their business. It will also confirm the original intention of both houses of the Oireachtas, which was to confer rights on tenants who had long occupation of premises and had developed such premises at their own expense. The interest created by the documentary referred to earlier has brought the landlord and tenant issue sharply into focus. And at this point, I would like to pay special credit to Pat Byrne, who was responsible for that documentary. And Pat put his heart and soul into that, and it was a huge, very impressive piece of work, and in no short way did it contribute to us being here today. It also highlighted the fact that a number of lawyers, both in the academic world and in practice, had serious reservations regarding the judgment of the Supreme Court. Arising from a meeting that was set up by Jim O'Callaghan by former Cancorla Dr Rory O'Hanlon, Pat Byrne introduced Professor John Wiley. Professor Wiley is a leading academic on all matters relating to land law, and who featured in the documentary. Tony Danaher, a local solicitor based in Carrickmacross, was also interviewed in the documentary. Together, over the summer, they have provided the draft bill that I am introducing here today. I would like to thank my fellow Oireachtas members from all parties, including Minister Heather Humphreys and Deputy Ciarán Ó Ciallain, for the support of this proposed amendment, and the County Councillors from Carrickmacross, Castleblaney Municipal District, some of which are with us today, in addition to both Deputy Brendan Smith and Deputy Niamh Smith as well. There have been many other people who have helped to get this bill to where it is today, and I would like to thank them sincerely for their work in that regard. I hope this bill passes through successfully through here today, so that business people in Carrickmacross on the west side of the street will finally get total control of their buildings and put their minds at rest, so they can continue forward in the knowledge and invest in the knowledge that they have business certainty going forward in relation to the future of their particular premises.